Hello there, this is Colin from Thrive Themes, and in today's video, I'm going to be building a WooCommerce store from scratch, step by step, and it has everything that you need to build your brand new WooCommerce store from scratch using Thrive Theme Builder. This is going to be a great follow along video where you can literally build your store step by step with me using WooCommerce and Thrive Theme Builder. So if you don't already have a copy of Thrive Theme Builder, hit the first link in the description or go to thrivethemes.com/themebuilder and get your copy today. Of course, if you are still interested in purchasing the product, you want to learn more about it, this is still a great resource for you to watch. However, it will be much better if you already have your copy and you can follow with me step by step as we build a store. Before we get started, I want to just cover a couple of things. I want to talk about who this is for and who this isn't for. Thrive Theme Builder and the WooCommerce integration is built for the small shop owner. So that could be someone who is maybe a local business owner that wants to sell some of their products in their local market, or you maybe take some of their custom woodworking or custom pottery and sell maybe one-off items or small scale items through their e-commerce shop. And this also could be for the solopreneur. So maybe you want to sell digital downloads or merchandise or one-off products that you want to have in an e-commerce selling format. This is definitely for you. As it currently stands, Thrive Theme Builder and the WooCommerce integration is not built for the store owner who wants to scale and have a gigantic WooCommerce store with hundreds and maybe even thousands of products. We're just not currently the right platform for that. We are always focused on helping the online business owner, solopreneur, build their online business and have higher converting pages, in this case stores, and all other aspects of their online business. In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step walkthrough of our site setup wizard, how to build your core pages such as your shop page, product, cart, and even category pages, your headers and footers, and all of the other major sections of your store, how to visually edit your WooCommerce store using Thrive Theme Builder, how to use the WooCommerce widgets built into Thrive Theme Builder on your store, and how everything ties in together. So without further ado, let's get started. So I have a pretty basic site here. I have just one of our standard Thrive Theme Builder templates for the homepage, and this is just the standard site. So we have this, I have a blog rule built out here. I have my colors chosen. So we have the main accent is this blue, I have this green, nothing special. But we're gonna add a shop on top of it. So I'm gonna go back over here to the WordPress dashboard. And the first step you're gonna wanna do is if you already have Theme Builder installed and activated, you're going to wanna get WooCommerce. So I'm going to treat this here as if you don't have WooCommerce on your store and you wanna add it. So if you already have WooCommerce installed and you're a little bit past the beginning stage, skip forward till we get to the Thrive Theme Builder editing stage by using the timestamps below this video. To install WooCommerce, we're going to go to plugins and add new. Here I'm going to search for WooCommerce. So WooCommerce, here we go. And you just want to install this one here. Okay, so the plugin is successfully activated, and now we're going to go back over to Thrive Theme Builder. And in Thrive Theme Builder here, we're going to start in the actual setup wizard. So I already have my wizard set up, but we're just going to go back and you're going to notice one specific thing. So here we have is the activation of WooCommerce. Now, as soon as I already had Theme Builder active and installed WooCommerce and activated, all of our templates were downloaded from the cloud. So we have the shop template, which is also your shop homepage, product page, cart, account, and many other templates that you can use to build out your shop. So these were automatically added into your Theme Builder account. So now I'm going to actually show you how to find these. And if we go back over to templates here, and under core templates, you can see most of them. So you're gonna have your default WooCommerce product, and under list templates, you're going to see the default WooCommerce shop, which in WooCommerce terms, the shop is often referred to as the homepage of your store. So in this case, we're gonna make it colinship.com/shop. And even though it's a page, that's going to be considered our shop's homepage. And here is just a couple of the templates. But the easiest way to see all of the templates we have for WooCommerce right here in the theme template section is go to the core templates, and underneath custom post templates, you're gonna have WooCommerce here in the bottom. Here are all the templates. So we have one for the product, the cart, the checkout, the account, and the shop. But that's not all. So with that, we have different variations for the product pages and a ton of different instances for the shop. So we have a simple shop, 4 versions. We have a shop, 4 versions, and then a full width shop as well. So we've got tons of different templates that act as the starting point. So this is gonna function just how Thrive Theme Builder does for your actual website. We did the heavy lifting. We didn't want to make it to where you're dragging in all these elements to build it from scratch. You have it where you have these conversion focused templates built by our professional, amazing design team. And all you have to do is kind of tweak and move things around to your liking. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel. You're trying to get a shop up so you can sell your merchandise, maybe your digital products, or kind of a local custom made product that you made. And that's the point of it. Before we get started actually going into the templates, I want to first take a minute and actually add a product and start building out the back end of WooCommerce, because it makes editing it much easier. So to do that, we're going to go over here to WooCommerce, and underneath WooCommerce, you're going to want to go to products. So I'm just going to click here, and when you have more products set up, it makes it a lot easier. So here I have a test one. Let me delete this one. And we're going to start from brand new. And I'm going to add a new product here. And I'm going to start with kind of an apparel category. So first one I'm going to make is a Prism t-shirt. So that'll be the title of this page. And as you can see here, the URL already was made there. And I'm not going to add anything to this main text. I'm going to focus down here. So regular price, let's set it to $29.99. It's just going to be a simple product. So if you're new to WooCommerce, I'll walk through this very briefly. I'm not trying to make this a total WooCommerce tutorial, but you have a simple product, you have a grouped, you have external/affiliate product, or a variable product. You have the option to click and make it virtual, or click and made it downloadable. Now that could be for a PDF you're selling, that's probably the most common use case, like an ebook or something like that, or like maybe a meal plan or a workout plan or something like that. But I'm not gonna dive into this. The best way if you wanna learn about like WooCommerce itself is WooCommerce's official website and documentation, or YouTube, tons of different tutorials. There's tons of YouTubers and content creators that have made great WooCommerce specific ones. So if you wanna learn more about how the backend works, that's definitely the best route to go. I'm gonna stay focused here on how to build your shops using Theme Builder. The next thing I wanna add is just a short product description. So this is going to help us design the store. If we have some basic text and some basic things set up, it's gonna make actually moving things around and building the store much better. So let's just type this in, Thrive Themes. So that's just gonna be the short description. Of course, you could write a much longer description from an SEO standpoint. If you have a really detailed product that's unique, ours is just a t-shirt, so I'm not gonna overthink it. So there we have that. Now we have the add a category section, and this is what I want to touch on next. So you could add a category, and I'm going to do that right from here. So the category that I want this to be is apparel. So I'm going to make multiple categories to show you how you can really structure your store. But for this one, I'm just going to go with apparel, and this will be a parent category. So I want this to be its own top level category. Okay, so there we have apparel. And for product tags, I wanted to make it to where someone searches for these basic tags. So I'm gonna make it really simple. So if we did t-shirts, shirts. So if someone's using the search feature on our store, this will make it easier to filter and find. So it could be for us once the store grows, or for customers, it makes it easier to find what they're looking for. Next, I'm going to set the product image. And to do it here, just set it. And I've already preloaded in a bunch of different images here. So here I will just load this one in here. And there's one, and then we could also do a gallery. So for this one comes in different colors. So I'm not gonna add the other color in, but if I wanted to, I could just add this into the gallery, and we'll preview this here on the front end, and then just kind of go through the last couple steps of this here. So here we have built in is you can choose what template you'd want this page to look like. So here we have it set to the default product template currently. We could make this when we built. So we have the product page 4, simple product page, and then these different variations of the product page. Now we haven't built these yet, so I'm not gonna dive into this, but I wanna point it out now that it's really easy to, once you have your actual template set up, you can easily navigate and switch between, if you wanna have t-shirts be a certain type of product template, you could have socks or mugs or something else be an entirely different product template. Now, I wouldn't recommend using different product templates. Let's take a look at Amazon, for example. So, of course, that's like the gigantic monster of e-commerce, but think about it. No matter if something costs $5,000 or $5, they use the identical product page. And that's super important lesson we can take away is that they know what converts, they know what works. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel for different product pages. And if you look at other really successful stores, it could be maybe in Europe, ASOS as a major e-commerce store, or it could be, think of like maybe Walmart or Target in the US, all of their product pages look the same, and that's by design. So I wouldn't recommend having multiple different product pages. So for this, we're just gonna leave it as the default. So I'm not gonna mess with anything else here. I'm just going to publish this here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go in and actually build out the rest of this store. So I'm gonna add in all the other products. I'm going to add in different categories and follow the exact same process that we did here so that we can actually start building out the store. So I'm gonna fast forward through this and I will meet you on the other side. Okay, so now I have gone through and I have set up all of the different products we have in our store. I have some mugs here, have some socks as you can see here, some hoodies, and some t-shirts. Now we'll take a look at how these look on the front end in a minute, but we have a couple more steps before we actually get into editing the templates. So what I wanna do here is go up to the pages here. Now with how WooCommerce is set up, as I'll show you in the settings here, is we're going to need to create a page that would be our shop homepage. So I'm going to just go to pages, and just add a new page. So I'll just name this shop homepage and I will publish that, publish. Now I'm gonna go back into the dashboard and I'm going to go into the settings underneath WooCommerce. So I'm gonna go to WooCommerce here and I'm gonna go to settings. Now here is where you can set all of your store information, the address, the location, the country, the currencies, all that stuff. But I'm gonna focus here on the products part. As I go here, it has the shop page. So if I click on this question mark, this sets the base page of your shop. This is where your product archive will be. So this is where, in this case, it'll be colinship.com/shop. And that is going to be the shop page that we're about to edit, design, and make our own. But I wanted to set it here. So you can select a page and it pulls your pages from your WordPress dashboard. So I'm going to select shop homepage, go down and save changes. Okay, now we are all ready to actually get in and start building out the different pages. So let's re-navigate here over to Thrive Theme Builder. I'm going to start by going to the WooCommerce templates themselves, and we're gonna go from the top down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the shop template, then I'm going to do the product page template, then I'm gonna get into the cart, checkout, then account. So those are the 5 major ones we're gonna do here. Then we're gonna cycle back and I'm gonna show you how to build a custom category page. So first step here is I'm going to go down to the list template. So they're broken down into 2. We have our single content templates, as you can see here. And if you're new to Theme Builder, just wanna point out something. Where you see this purple text here, this kind of purple banner where the text is, that is the current template that is set. So that's the one that's live on the site. Now you can change it, but that's the one that's currently set as the default template. And that's for all these here. So I'm gonna go in by just opening up the first shop template here. I'm gonna edit it. Here we have is the default template. So this already looks great. So I'm gonna kind of walk through what happened here. So I literally just went to edit this template and this is what appeared. So by default, here's what we have. The header here is inherited from the website. So my default colinship.com website here, this is the header, just with the blog, about, and this reading list tab here. So one thing I want to point out here is the color. So my actual site-wide main accent color here is this blue. I'm not sure the actual name, but it's kind of this bluish accent here. And as you can see, this top section automatically inherited the exact same color blue. And the reason why that is because we have smart colors enabled. So if I just look over here to the central style panel, here's the main accent already picked right there. So I didn't have to change anything. It's automatically applied right to all the templates. So if I close that here, you can see here, it's on this filter. It's even on the sale button here as well. And it's everywhere we need it to be. So the goal of these templates is to make it where you don't have to do a lot of editing. The point is to pick the right template. So here we have one that has a top section and it's kind of all broken down into these different sections. So if I go back in the breadcrumbs, so if you follow my cursor here, I'm gonna go to the shop settings. And here's kind of how we broke down the shops. We have the header, the top section. So the top section is right here. Then we have our content section. So the content section, you can see it highlighted here in green. It's called the content area here. This is what we refer to as the content section in WooCommerce. And this is what's going to be dynamically populated from your actual WooCommerce settings in the backend. So you can see here, these are the mugs that I put in, the socks, and this is all going to be dynamically entered in. Now we can use the filters and all this stuff on the front end, and we'll get to that later. But I just want to walk through the section. So here we have that. And the next section we have here is the sidebar section here. And then we have the bottom section and the footers. So that's all the shop. That's the shop page's different sections. And the great part is we not only have different templates, we have different templates for each of these sections. So I'm gonna dive into those now because this is where it really gets exciting and makes building it incredibly easy. So here we have is one top section. Now I'm gonna go in here and I'm going to replace this current top section. So here we have is our different templates. We have 13 different top sections here that you can use. So we've got this one here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we have this one here, another one that has a 50% off, another one here, a little bit less design with a background image, kind of an overlaid image here, discount banner, very small, larger one there, guarantee, and then some really small ones, kind of some thin banners, guarantees, and really basic ones. So we have all different kinds of options. Right? Let me go with this one here. Let's go with this one. The same thing applied. So I changed that here, and this didn't have the same amount of accent colors, but as you can see right down here, all these icons and the text is white, and the same thing for this background section color. This column color here is also the same blue. So no matter what you pick, you're always gonna make sure that you have the exact same color and everything loaded easily. Now, what I wanna do is go through how we can edit this. So if you're obviously a Thrive Theme Builder customer or you use Architect, it's the same. Thrive Architect Lite is enabled within Thrive Theme Builder WooCommerce integration, so I can go in and edit the text. 50% off, check out our store-wide sale. Okay. And then you can edit the text. You can add, this is a button here, so we can add this here. We can even change this if we wanted to. And under the background style, you can change the overlay color. You could add in an image. This is where I recommend adding maybe a lifestyle picture of maybe if you're selling watches, or it could be if you're selling a digital download of maybe a workout plan, it could be you doing one of the workouts or whatever. So this is where you can design the store yourself and definitely make it your own. So we just have these as placeholders so you can design them exactly how you want. But you don't have to mess with the different spacing, the padding, all that stuff is already taken care of. So that is how the top sections go. Now next, let's move into the sidebar. So the sidebar, we can do quite a few different things here. So this is gonna be our standard sidebar. And this is going to have your filter, your category, so let's start with your category dropdown, your filter by color. Now, it's already picking this up. So there's no content filtered by color. I chose to add these products in as every color as a separate product. I could have added similar products into the exact same one and have different variations, but for the sake of this example, I wanted to do it as separate products. So you could have that there as a widget. Then we have the products widget. Here we have just a banner that you can edit. So we have this as standard, edit the text. I could do 35% off, change the background image, the color, make it match, do whatever I want, and have a banner. Or you could simply just delete it if you don't want to have that there. Next up in this template, we have a post list element here to display more of the products. And last, we have a discount code here and a lead generation form to finish it off. So let's go up to the sidebar here, and I'm gonna go all the way back here into the sidebar section, and let's look at the template. So we replace it here. We have lots of different options. Again, these are all built by our professional designers that have a very strong conversion focus. They've been doing this for a very, very long time. So I wouldn't recommend kind of breaking the mold and going against the grain on this. Pick a template that you really like, one that you can see yourself using live in your store, and make minor tweaks. And if you find yourself making major tweaks to the templates, find a new one. So let's go and find one that we definitely want to work with. Let's go with, I like this one. Okay, this one's really simple. So as you can see here, smart colors were enabled again. So we have the buy button, the font here, everything worked out great. So what we have is a much simpler one. Free shipping, the packaging, easy return, some kind of just basic e-commerce kind of captions here. And again, we could link this button, so I could go and edit this just like normal. I could change the size of the button. We can make it a little bit bigger, make it a medium button if we wanted to. I can have different styles of the buttons like we had built into Thrive Architect here. And we can change the link here. So I could have this go right to the checkout page or the cart or a different product. and there's all different kinds of options here. So that is what you can do to actually edit your sidebar and make it how you want. Next, I want to talk about the content area, which is also known as the shop section of the actual page here. So if we go into this, there's a few layers to it. We have the content area, as you can see highlighted here in green. Then I want us to go down to the shop. So this is what's unique here. So there's a lot of what I would like to call the bumpers. So if you've ever been bowling, it's kind of like the bumpers you put on so you don't get gutter balls. And this is kind of similar because we don't have fully drag and drop every little bits and piece of WooCommerce editable on the front end within Theme Builder just yet. So we made it much simpler so that you can get a store that's professionally looking up quickly. And here we have the standard things that you can do. So you could display the number of products you want per page. So right now we have it doing 8. Let's make this 4 so it's obvious you can see it. So let's drag this down to 4. Okay, so there we go. So we have 4 products there. We can do the order by published. You could do many different options. You could do it by price. So watch, let me do by price here. So the most expensive item and then down. Then I could reverse it. So lowest item and then down. Let's go back. Let's do another one. Let's do published date. Sure. Okay, this is published date here. And there's all kinds of options. I'm not going to keep going into this here. So let me set this back up to 8. Next we can do is take the result count. So here we have, it says showing 1 out of 8 out of 19. So if you wanted to hide that, you could. Toggle it on and off, goes away. Next is the catalog ordering. You can toggle that on or off. The sale flash. So here we have on the socks, they're technically on sale, but you can hide that or show it, whether you'd like to or not. Same for the titles. Now I would never recommend doing that. You could if you really wanted to, but I would never recommend the titles. Ratings, we don't have any reviews currently on this store, but if you had reviews and wanted them to display, or if you had more of a crowded content section, you may not want them to display. Same things for the price and the add to cart. So you could have someone add it directly to cart from here. A lot of stores don't allow you to do this because you have to pick a size, you have to pick maybe a color option or many different things. So you can either have that on or off. And last but not least, we have the image size. So if you want to scale that down or make them full-size images, my advice is this. Use a more thumbnail size image or an image that would make sense for this instead of trying to scale it up or down, because it might, if you have a tiny image and trying to make it bigger, it might distort it and vice versa. So try to get the right image size, upload it to your WordPress site and for the products on the first go. Now that just covers the basics of the content in the shop section. If you see here, we have this orange edit design button. So I'm gonna click on this here, and now we have more editing design capabilities. So if I click on this here, let's just go with this image. I can change the layout and position. So I could add more margin, see how that's moving there? Not saying I'd want to, but you have the capability. So if you want to tweak and customize it more, you can. You can get into the more advanced settings here. You could also add borders and quarters. So if I wanted to have, let's just do a few pics. See, that's pretty obvious there. I just added a black background. Excuse me, not a black background, a black border. I wouldn't recommend that, but if you want to do that, you have. So you have quite a bit of flexibility and freedom in how you customize different parts. The same goes for the text and the pricing and all this. So I could go to the typography, I could change the color of this, I could go to one thing I'm thinking, if I went to the pricing here, I might want to make the pricing something different, maybe this green or whatever. Maybe I wouldn't want it to be for all of them, but if you had maybe a sale price or something, maybe that's a way to help the sale price stand out by changing the color of it. So this is just one extra way where you can get more control of actually editing it. So the same thing with the background style, you could have a background to the pricing section here, you could add a border, and you could also adjust the padding and the margins if needed. The final design part that I want to show here is how you can add a hover state to the products in your shop content section here. So if I click on this here and go back to the product, we have the different states. So we have normal and hover. So you can already see it's already selected here. And you could add a background color or kind of maybe a slight overlaid background. So when someone hovers over top of the product, they know what they're clicking on. That's an option if you want to get really, really into kind of customizing the store. But for now, we're just going to leave this blank and keep going. Now that we've covered the shop content section here, I'm going to move down to the bottom section. So let's go back up to here and I'm going to just click on bottom to navigate and it's going to bring us down here. So if I go to the bottom section, we have the same option. I can replace it and let's take a look at the different templates. So we can add testimonials, additional info. We've got what else? Let me zoom in here so you can see this a little better. different guarantees, payments, you can even add logos, opt-in form, discounts, all different kinds of templates here. So we've done all kinds of stuff that you can add, whether you want to promote your digital product, you could promote your different products linking over to other categories. The choice is yours. I actually kind of like the one we have. So I'm going to leave this here because it's just really simple. You have a helpline, the return policy, and the secure payment. So this all links up with your Thrive Themes account. So if you have the data actually set for the correct phone number in your Thrive Themes dashboard, it will auto-populate that here. So when you put the company phone number here, it'll pop up. And of course, the last thing I want to mention is that this has the same exact editing capabilities that all the other sections would have. So I can go into the text, change this, the colors, I could change the icon here, I can change the color. It already has a smart color enabled, which is definitely a really nice feature. And it's all in all extremely easy to use. So now that's going to wrap up all of the sections. I've covered the bottom section. We have the sidebars here. We have the shop or the content section, and we had the top section. So that is going to be the core sections that we have built into Thrive Theme Builder and WooCommerce. So the next thing I want to do is talk about the headers and the footers. First, let's talk about the headers. So by default, the header that is going to be on your WooCommerce shop page, that's going to be for the product page, the shop page, all the different pages, by default are going to inherit the actual header from your website. So that makes it really easy for the color-wise, the look, the feel, all that to be congruent with the rest of your website. However, this poses a problem when someone actually tries to get to your shop or their cart. Let me explain. Let's go over to colinship.com. And if I just go to the blog here, and let's say someone's on the blog roll here, they're kind of just going around, and let's say they're reading a specific post here. So let's say someone is reading a post and they already had something in their cart and they already have visited your shop. Well, if we take a look here, how are they going to get there? There's no way to get there unless you have something way deep buried in the footer, which we don't. We have this standard default footer here. We're not going to be able to get to the shop. So in order to actually have people get over to your shop, you're going to have to build in a different header. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that now. It's incredibly simple. So let's go back over to the actual shop page we're editing. And in order to change the header for this page, there's just two steps. Step one is you want to make sure the header is selected. Now you have the options to replace, edit, or unlink. Now in this case, we're looking to replace this header. So before I do this, I want to just mention one thing. Changing this header is only going to take effect on the colinship.com/shop page. This is not going to change the header on the blog. This is not going to change the header on the product page or anything else. This is only going to take effect right here on this page. And that's the beautiful thing about Theme Builder, is that you don't have to have one header on every single page that's the same. You can build one header and load it into the different templates, but you have the total freedom and flexibility to use different templates for different pages. But in order to change it, we're going to just press replace. And I already built one here, so I'm going to just pull that up. So it looks about the same, just added a couple buttons. So it has the same feel, and I wanted that. I wanted this to be the exact same kind of minimal header that I already had, just with two additional parts. So we have the blog, about, reading list, shop, and cart. So let's save that here. And as you can tell, I want to just show you what I mean by that. So if I go to the home page, it's still the same. No headers have changed. But if I go to /shop, there we go. Here we have is the new header, and this is our shop homepage that we built. So this is the biggest difference we have. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show one more example of how to change it, and then I'm just going to go and set this header to be site-wide. In order to change the header in other places, I'm going to go back into Theme Builder here, and let's just start with the homepage. So I'm going to go back up to the core templates. Here's the active homepage. I'm going to edit landing page. All I have to do is this. Click the header. I want to change the header. So I don't want to edit this one, I want to change it. Change the header. And there we have the one saved. So Colin Custom Shop Header 1, insert header, and we're done. So by default, when you load in the different headers, they're going to stretch to the full width, but I like it a little bit narrower at 850. So if I just uncheck this, my default header width that I built with this header is going to apply. So save that there. And now let's take a quick look at the front end. So if I go back over to the home page, here we have the header of the shop here. So we have colinship.com, and then we have the shop homepage here, and here we have the exact same header. So what I'm gonna do now is speed through the rest of this and actually change the headers for every single page. Okay, so now you can see that we've gone through and we've changed the header for all the pages. So we have the blog, we have the about, and let me go back to the blog here. Let me just go into one of these posts, and we have the same header. So we'll go back to the shop page here, and we'll go into the next part. So far, we've gone through the different sections of a top section, a bottom section, the content/shop section, went over the sidebars and all that. Next, let's take a look at the product pages. Here we are back in the WooCommerce templates within Thrive Theme Builder, and I want to show the different options here. So by default, we have this set to the product template, and we have the product page 4, we have a simple product page 3, and 2. So for the sake of this example, I'm not gonna look through every single example. We have the original video that's kind of walking through what the templates look like, and if you already have it, you can just easily cycle through yourself. So what I'm gonna go in here is to product page 1, and we're gonna start making edits. Okay, here we have is the default product page. So I wanna point out a couple things here. First, we have the header, we need to change that. We have the top section right here, smaller one. We have the content section here, which is going to show everything here. We have the bottom section, which is going to show right here, just the kind of standard, maybe free delivery, years experience, etc. And then we have the footers. So what I wanna do is kind of walk step by step through all the different sections here again, because it's not exactly the same as the shop section or a category page would be. So let's start by changing the header. So first here, click on the header. Let's replace this one here with the one we have saved. So we have the shop one here. Okay, there we go. Step 1. Step 2, let's look through the top section. So let me go here and let's replace this. So here we have different top sections. So we can navigate through these. Now, for a product section, I'd recommend keeping them simple. For your shop page, you're gonna wanna have more of a prominent top section. Just think about it. The point of a product section is to get someone to learn about the product and add it to their cart. It's not about getting them to click away from the product they're already viewing. You want them to go deeper into the conversion cycle. So let's keep it really minimal, and I wanna have ones that more kind of back it up. So let's go with, let's see. Let's go with the discount code one. Let's make it really basic. Let's go with that. Perfect. So we have a discount code here. It's already using a gradient. So as you can see, we have smart colors enabled, and this here is already using the blue, and it's kind of a blue gradient fade to a lighter blue here. So that covers that. Next, let's get into the next section down. We're just gonna go step by step. So here we have is let me get into this one. Okay, we have the content wrapper here, which is gonna encompass everything all the way down to the bottom section. But within the content wrapper, there's a few things happening on the product page. So you have the breadcrumbs here, which you can edit the breadcrumbs. So if I go into this, we can have different things for the normal and the hover state. So if you're hovering over it, you could change the highlight color, the typography size. I wouldn't do that, but you could change the background style or the text style if you wanted to, or excuse me, the text color if you wanted to. So go back to that here, normal. The same could be for the shop, the home, etc. So the breadcrumbs there can also change, and you can make them bigger. So these are actually a little bit small. Let's do 13. Okay, so that covers that there. And then let's go one level deeper. So we have the actual product section here. And again, this kind of has what I referred to earlier as the bowling bumpers. So this way you can't really do too much to kind of ruin the shop if you're not super experienced, but it makes it so you can get a fast shop that's professionally done looking quickly. So we can toggle title on and off. We could do the price, add to cart, all these different options here, even the metadata. So the meta would be the categories, the accessory. This would be one that from kind of just the viewability and just kind of how it looks, I may consider taking that off, and also the reviews tab. So if you don't have reviews for your products, and if it's more of a, maybe like a merchandise product, I may not want to even have the review because it's more of a, you're supporting a brand or a creator or a company versus is it the best X type of shirt or whatever. It's not always the goal. So for this one, I'm going to take it off. Next option we have here is the product gallery. So this would be, for this one, we just have the one product, but we could change the size. So by default, it was $4.97, and we could make it bigger or smaller. So I wouldn't recommend getting too large or too small because you also have to keep in mind mobile devices and tablets. So that's pretty much what you can do there. And I'll show another one here in a minute that allows you to actually have different columns. So for an item, you may have 2, 3, or 4 pictures, maybe even up to 10 pictures for one of the items, and you could have it be broken down into different columns. So there's that, and then the upsell products. Next, we have the upsell products. So the upsell products are going to be if you want to directly upsell someone right from this page. They can add it to cart right from here. Now, we don't have any upsell products set up in this store, but instead of having to build it in, drag in the widgets and do it yourself, we already have it. So I'm gonna turn that off for display. And the last but not least is the related product. So let me scroll down and you'll see what happens. So let me toggle that off. Related products are gone. So if you want a very streamlined, conversion focused, just they can read the description, look at the pictures, add it to their cart, I wouldn't recommend having related products. Also, let's say you're selling maybe a fitness ebook or a workout kind of PDF plan. You may only have one of them, or you may only have 2. So you may not want to be driving people to different pages. You may want to keep the related products off. So you may want to just have it off. Now in this case, we've kind of built out a pretty cool store. So I'm going to turn it on. And you have pretty simple options here. You can change the number of columns that display. So they could be a little bit larger images. So we have 3 and 2. And then we could change the products to display. I'm going to take this down to just 3. And then we just have 1 row of larger kind of enlarged related products so they can actually see the image. So I could even turn it down just a bit to there we go. Change the alignments. See on the left, the text was a little bit kind of off there. If we center it, it looks much better with 3. So just by a few clicks, we're able to get the entire product page pretty much customized. There's one more thing that I want to show on the product page here, and that is the sidebar. So the sidebar was visible by default on the shop homepage. And here it's actually not. So in order to show the sidebar, it's not here in the style panel, it's actually right here. So if I just click show sidebar, there it is. Now the same sidebar sections apply. We have the same templates, we have all that stuff the same. But you can do this here, I can make it a little bit tighter. So if I wanna focus on the product, what I'll do is, I'll do like about a 75, 25-ish. I'm gonna change this template so it looks a little bit better. So I'm gonna go into sidebar section, replace this, and let's just go with this. So here we have much cleaner looking. This is just a side option. This isn't really anything to click. We have new arrivals. I'm actually gonna remove this here. And this is all we have. So we kept it incredibly simple. We made it to where it just offers secure payments, showing that you take all kinds of credit cards, even Bitcoin. And here we have just some basic things that you can change. So I could change the text here. Smart colors is already enabled. So you've got the blue kind of background here, which I use some results on the site. We have the blue icons and everything is already good to go. So we have cart button, everything matches. And this product page is pretty much done. So you pretty much have just left is the bottom section. So for this one, you could maybe add in a discount. So let's see, we kept a simple top section. Let's add in, let's go with this one. So this could be promoting a new collection. So I'm even gonna show you what this is like to change the image. So I'm gonna click here and let's replace the image with, let's do this t-shirt. So there we have. We just added a t-shirt here. So you may want to use them with a white background. You may want to have a transparent background, but for this case, it looks fine. So we can do this here. I could use the drag handles here to shrink the image down if I wanted to, make the bottom section. As you can see, look, the bottom section is proportionally shrinking with this image. So I can shrink this image down a bit, change the text here. So as you can see here, with just a couple of clicks, we were able to edit the image. We were able to kind of change it from a square image to a circle image, add a basic overlay to it. I can even change the image here in the background. So if I go into here, I can leave it blank and let me actually change the position of this image so that we can actually have it be positioned properly. So let me take away the padding. Let me just go with, this is still me eyeballing it, but let's just go with that. There. So then we have the t-shirt right here in the middle, added a little bit of a transparent background to it so it kind of stands out. And there we go. We can easily just link up the button to the t-shirts and we're good to go. So you didn't have to do a lot of heavy lifting. We did most of that for you. Next, I want us to talk about the footers. So we've talked about the headers, the top sections, bottom sections, sidebars, you name it, we've covered it here. But last thing I want to talk about is the footers. And here's my recommendation. Footers are something you shouldn't overcomplicate. And unless you have a really, really large e-commerce store with dozens and dozens and dozens of products and dozens of categories and all that stuff, I think you should use the same footer. So in order to change that here, what I'm gonna do is just replace this footer here, and I'm gonna go to one of the saved ones I have. So here we have is the one I built, and here we have the privacy policy, disclaimer, and the terms and conditions. So you may be wondering, what about the return policy page, the refund policy page, the shipping options, all that stuff? Here's our recommendation. I would advise you put those on the contact page, or you have those linked in your about page somewhere, because those probably aren't gonna help drive conversions. Putting the shipping policy front and center, the link of it, like the boring text, is not gonna help drive sales. What is gonna help drive sales is letting people know you have free shipping and free returns, or something like that, using these icons here. Free shipping, echo packaging, easy returns, 30-day money back guarantee. That's what's actually gonna drive the conversions, not the footer link that says, here's how you return your items. These are default things people can find in your help, or maybe a knowledge base, or your contact page. So that's what I recommend for that. So we'll set that footer to be the same. And what we're gonna do now is preview this page across the different devices. First, let's take a look at the tablet version and make the tweaks that we need to. So here we have is the product section looks good. Related products looks good. It's a little bit scrunched in some places. So let's take care of this sidebar here. So what I wanna do is be in the content wrapper. And from the content wrapper, you're gonna go right here. So we have a couple options. We're gonna keep the position to the right, but what I'm gonna do is toggle on wrap. Okay, so let's take a look at what happened. So I just wrapped the sidebar around everything here, and now that is below the related product. So what I wanna do is tweak a couple more things here. So here we have is the related products. These are a little bit big here. So if I go over to the product gallery, I can shrink the size of this image a bit. It's just a little bit too big for mobile. Okay, let's do the related products the same. It's a little bit, let me just see this here. It's a little big. Let's do 2 columns. Actually, let's do the number. Let's just do 4. There we go. And then let's even shrink this a little bit more. Let's do like 40%. There we go. So that shrunk it down quite a bit. So this is still the featured image, obviously much larger. Here we have the text, still looks good. Related products shrunk down. And then we still have our options here. So we have the secure options, these different things to help drive conversions. And then there we go. Everything shrunk proportionally in the bottom section. So the font shrunk, the button here shrunk, the image went down. So it all shrunk proportionally very easily. Now let's go down one more level to the mobile device. Let's go back to the top here. So we're gonna first start by changing the size of the image here. So we're gonna shrink this down a bit yet again. Let's go for, that's about right. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. So that shrunk down well. These images here look good. Now on a phone, it looks pretty small here, but on a phone, you gotta remember they're gonna just see a basic thumbnail of the image, so we can maybe even increase it a tiny bit. Yeah, let's go to 60 is good, but you still don't want it to dominate. You don't want a huge image on the phone. So there's that there. Bottom section here looks good. And everything aligned. So you can see here what happened when you went from the tablet over to the mobile is we took things from left to right to stacking them vertically. And that makes it much cleaner. So the t-shirt here, new t-shirts available. Let's change the spacing here just a little bit to make it nice and neat. So let's go into layout positioning. Let's get rid of this negative margin, make it 0. And I should give it a little bit of, let's go with 10 to give it some breathing room. The button's good. And there we go. So there we have it optimized all the way from here we have is the smallest device, the tablet, and the desktop here. Okay, so far we have gone through the shop template and we've gone through the product page template. So those, in my opinion, are the 2 most important pages of your shop. But there's one more that I wanna cover here. And what I wanna do is build what I would call a category page for your shop. In order to add the new category page, we're going to just press here on the add new, and we're going to build a list template. I'm going to name this apparel category page. It's gonna make sure it's, so don't do a single, make sure it's a list here. And you want it to be an archive page. And then we want to set it to be product category. So by default, WooCommerce is going to have these additional ones added: product categories, product tags, and product shipping classes. But we're gonna do product categories. Then we can define the categories. We have everything from uncategorized apparel, even the subcategories of t-shirts and hoodies, and the same for accessories, then socks and mugs. But let's go back up to apparel. Then I wanna copy from existing templates. I don't wanna start from scratch. I actually wanna use the one we already built. So I'm gonna use shop 1. Okay, here's what happened. What we just did was we had this original default WooCommerce shop, which was the only actual category page that we had set up on our site. So every single category we would filter by would still use this template. But let's say we wanted to make a different template. And here we just duplicated the template because we used the exact same one for shop one to start with this category page, but we're gonna make edits. So let's go in and I'm gonna show you how we can have some major distinctions here. What I wanna do is start by editing some of the sections. So here this is only going to display apparel. So this is only gonna show hoodies and t-shirts. This is not gonna show anything else. So what I wanna do is, since I'm gonna make this a little bit more focused, by doing that, I'm going to make this top section here. Let's first start by changing that. Let's go to the top section and let's go to one that's pretty minimal. Let's just go with this one. Okay, so I have a very minimal top section here. Black, just kind of like a banner, like a rugged kind of banner color here. And this is just to stand out for a code. So it could be, the code could be whatever. We'll leave it spring 20, that's fine. Next, I want to get rid of this product widget. And yeah, we'll leave the rest here. We'll leave the cart there, and recently viewed, we'll leave that as well. So we're gonna make it a couple distinctions there, and I'll also replace the bottom section. So let's go into bottom section, and let's go with this one. Okay, this one's much simpler, there's no color, and we'll leave this one here for the discount as well. So here we have is just this section. So let's save this here. And let's take a look on the front end. So let's kind of walk through the shop experience. Let's start by going from the homepage all the way through to the shop. So we have just the basic Colin Ship homepage. Let's go to the shop here. Next, let's go to the product categories. So here we can filter it by, we have apparel, hoodies, socks, mugs here, but let's go to the apparel one. Okay, so it changed. So here we went from the standard shop template to this one here with the different top section, change some of the widgets on the side, and a different bottom section. So it was that easy to change. We were able to just go from having the one version to a different variation. So we could have an entirely different variation for the apparel category, you could have a different one for the accessories category, and that gives you total freedom to have different discounts, different bottom sections, different sidebars, and it's incredibly easy to use. Next, let's talk about the last 3 pages of your actual WooCommerce store. So these are going to be the cart, the checkout, and the account. So I say these for last because there's not a whole lot that I would recommend you change on these. So let's open the cart. And on the cart page here, we've built these templates to be very easy to use right out of the box. So carts, I don't think you should overcomplicate. So if you've ever seen a standard Shopify e-commerce store, almost every store without fail, unless they're like maybe Nordstrom's or Macy's or one of these custom built sites, uses literally the default template cart and checkout process. And there's a reason. It's simple and easy to use without having to mess with it. I would not recommend changing how someone goes through a cart. It's most people who buy anything online or anything through e-commerce stores are accustomed to a very similar process. And that's as follows. Things get added to the cart, and once they get to the cart, they can change the quantity, remove an item, add a coupon, update the cart. It's really simple. I would not recommend going in here and making changes, but I will show you what you can change. So you could change the header, which you're obviously going to want to. So let's go and replace that now. Let's replace this header. We're going to make this the same shop one here. There we go. Once you have the header change, you could go through and you could replace the top section. You could also replace something in the bottom section or the footer, but I wouldn't recommend it. We've already built these templates to work right out of the box. So we already have customer reviews. You could add your logo here. Maybe it could be a UPS or a FedEx, DHL, whatever. And let's save this here. And what I'm gonna do is go back into Theme Builder and let's get into the checkout. So we did the cart. You could add the same as the editing is the same. I didn't want to go through and re-edit everything like I did for the product page or the category page or even the shop homepage, but all the things apply are the same. So let's go to here. And here we have the checkout position here. This cannot be edited. So here you can change the layout and positioning, the padding, you could add maybe a background style, and you could add a border around this if you wanted to. But this is very important that you don't really mess with, because this is really what drives the conversions. This is e-commerce. This is the final step, entering in their address, their credit card information, and off they go. So you wanna make sure that all this stuff is really really straightforward and not trying to mess with it too much. But like always, I'm gonna edit this one header here. Oh, let me go back. I actually went to edit it. So instead of replacing it, I actually pressed edit. So press done if you do that, and just go to replace this header. And let's set it to the shop header here. There we go. So that covers the checkout page and the last page here, which you don't have to use. So there's an account page. And this is if you have maybe trending towards a larger store, or you want to have customers, let's say it's a PDF, and you have maybe your workout PDF download, or your workout guide, or your nutrition tracker. You may want them to download it again. They may want to go back to your store and download it. So this is where you could set that up. Now you'd have to set up the account and have someone build their account through the WooCommerce backend on the site and also within your WordPress account. But here you can also do the same kind of basic editing. So you could change the header. So we'll replace that here briefly. Let's go to the same one. And again, the editing options are the same. You can change a different top section, but the My Account section, you're only limited to basic layout positioning, background styling, and borders and corners. So not too much you can do there. Bottom section you could replace as well, and you could do the exact same with the footer. So you could add in a promotion in the bottom section. You could put a default footer. This would be a great place to put the shipping and the returns and all that kind of information and links as well. And this is gonna wrap up the actual core pages. So next, what I want us to talk about is how to use the widgets and then tie everything together. Let's start by going back here to Theme Builder. And what I wanna do is go into let's go with the actual shop one here. Let's just go with the default shop. And what I wanna go here is just walk through the different widgets we have available. So what we have here is, in this sidebar is gonna be the best place to use these. And again, this is not a blanket statement. This is just what I think you should use the standard WooCommerce widgets for. So to find a widget within Thrive Theme Builder for WooCommerce, you want to press the Add Element tab. So press the plus button, and you're gonna have a section that's WooCommerce. So you could also search for it, but right here, you're going to have different possibilities. So I'm gonna just walk through these step by step. If you're familiar with WooCommerce, these are gonna be kind of just repeating myself, but we have the cart widget, which is going to show people what's in their cart. So let me show an example of that. I think it's on the page. Yeah, right here. So this is the cart widget. This is actually showing the customer what's in their cart. So if they were to remove this logo, mug, and the t-shirt and the hoodie from their actual cart, what would happen is that it would actually take that item out of the cart. So this is dynamically populating the pricing and all that stuff. So this is a good one to have. But you could also remove it. If you don't want to show it here and you want people to only access the cart via the top section here, you could have it be that as well. So let's go to, that's the cart widget. Let's talk about the next one. Next one here is the active product filters. So if you have different product filter set, that could be, you could have a sizing filter, you could have a color filter, you could have all different types of filters. And the big benefit of having this one here is you can easily manipulate stores as they get larger. Now for our store, we wouldn't need this as much because we only have a handful of products, but as you grow, this could become handy. Next one is also filter products by attribute widget. So that could be the attributes you set within the product settings. So that's determined in the WooCommerce actual product settings. We're not gonna get into that right here because that's a little bit of a deep dive into WooCommerce, but you have that capability. Next is going to be filter products by price. So you could have a widget that's gonna show products by either high to low. This way you could have products in your sidebar right here that show from high to low. Next is gonna be the product categories widget. So this would show how someone would, I think I just added it here. Yeah, so this is gonna show the different categories you have, and you could add it in what we have here. So here's how it's displayed. I added an accident, but this is what we have. We can change it to show us a dropdown. Here we have this. You can do like a checkbox. So if someone checks accessories, it'll only show the accessories. So I'll put it back to dropdown. You can filter it by category name or just name, or sorry, category order or the name. You could do the product accounts here. You could do hierarchy. So if we open the dropdown, let's just do it. So the hierarchy will show it like this. No hierarchy, everything is in line. Hierarchy puts everything in the subcategories in the right place. And only show the child. So this is only gonna show the major categories. It's gonna hide the subcategories of it. And you can also hide the empty categories. So let's get rid of uncategorized. So we'll put it back in the dropdown, show the hierarchy, and we'll save that. So that's how the product categories work. Now, briefly, I'm gonna just show you that on the front end so you can see what the dropdown looks like. So let's go to select the category, and here we have it. This makes it really easy to navigate. So we've got accessories here. Let's go to that. Here we have is the accessories category page that we built. So it looks different than the standard shop page. Then you can also turn it off here. You can press the X. It's gonna take you back to the shop. So it's the same as kind of clicking over to the main shop. It's gonna take you back to the default. It's kind of taking off that filter. You can also do the same for apparel. It's gonna take us to this different one we built with the kind of minimal rugged header, or top section, excuse me, and with this minimal bottom section. And if I press the X, back to the shop page. So let's go back here and we'll go through the rest of the widgets. Next, we have the product search. So if you wanted to have a larger category, let's drop that above. You can search for products. This is where tags come in handy. If you have the proper tags on your store, this makes finding someone types in shirts or sweaters or hoodies, it's gonna pop up much better and people can find the products you're looking for incredibly easy. So everyone's search products on Amazon or these other big e-commerce stores for clothing makes it super handy for your customers to find stuff. The next widget we have is the product tag cloud widget. So this is kind of a fancy name for it, but what it does is it allows people to see the tags. So people can filter things by tags. It could be accessories, hoodies, mugs, shirts, you name it. They can easily filter with just a couple clicks here. So let's save this here. It's not the best looking one so far. I'm kind of adding things, but I really want to show you this. So if I do this here and let's go by tag. Let's do socks. Okay, only socks are gonna show up. Let's do sweaters. So in the beginning, you probably have to go way back. In the sweaters, I made that for the hoodies. So I didn't mention the word sweaters anywhere on the product description for the hoodies and the title, but I left it as a tag. So if someone does sweaters, they're going to see the hoodies. And let's take a look at the last couple ones here. So this is the one I like a lot, is the recently viewed products. So this one shows the user what they've already looked at. So this could be the mugs they've already looked at here. It could be anything else. You could set the number of recently showed products. So right here we have it set to 10. I've only viewed a couple, but we could have this be as many as you want, 4 to 10. I'd recommend in like that 2 to 4 range is probably the sweet spot. And this allows you to have recently shown products. Now, again, you can change the design minimally, the layout, the positioning, but the point is that it just makes it easy to build a professional looking store that has the standard and really conversion driving features. So recently viewed products, everyone's bought something from Amazon that was in the recently viewed tab on the bottom. This is the same principle here. So that's where I would use that. And let's move into the last couple ones here. Products by rating. So if you're using ratings, you're able to sort your products. So if I add this here, now all of our products have no rating, so it's gonna just go by default order here. But if we had ratings, what would happen is it would show by the top rated product down. So if you have maybe, could be like fitness equipment, or if you have reviews on your digital downloads, maybe a PDF or a workout program, you could easily kind of have the ratings be top to bottom. So this is a great way to take advantage of getting people on your category pages, whether it's the shop homepage, a specific category page, to see the top rated products. So here we have, again, you can filter by the number we show. We're showing 5. Let's shrink it down just to show you 4, 3, as you can see there. So that's an option there. And let's get into the last couple of widgets here. So we have that there, and then I want to talk about the recent product reviews. So this would be good to use on the product page. So actually, I'm gonna flash forward here to the product page. Here we are on the product page, and what I wanna show is the recent product reviews widget. So here we have, I can drag this in, and I would put this probably below this. So let me put it below this section here. In this here, now we don't have any reviews to show, but what this would show is it would actually show the recent reviews for this particular product. So think of Amazon. You have the Amazon main section, the description, you can add it to your cart. Then you have the huge description on Amazon. Then you have the recently reviewed products. And at the very bottom, you have the elaborate review system for Amazon. This is exactly the same. You can show the reviews for the product, what they said, the stars, all that stuff, and have it be displayed right below the product. So that way customers that potentially are going to buy it can read those reviews. And the last widget I want to cover is the filter products by rating. So this would be if you had ratings for your product, someone could filter them by the highest rated to the lowest rated, or vice versa, the lowest rated product to the highest rated product. This way, if someone's looking for maybe a 4-star product or whatever the case is, they can easily find it. Now, the point of all of these widgets is not to complicate it, not to make it confusing for you, but it allows you more creativity, more flexibility to add in these default widgets that are built right into WooCommerce. We didn't build these widgets. These are just integrations with WooCommerce natively into Thrive Theme Builder. So you can just drag them into your product pages, category pages, shop pages, and all the other places on your store where you can take advantage of these widgets. Okay, so we've gone through a lot in this video. We started with going over the installation process, activating it, going through the sections, the templates, kind of breaking down what it looks like. And then we got into the nitty-gritty details. We edited the headers, we edited the footers, the sections, we added a category page template. We did all kinds of stuff. So hopefully this video has been a comprehensive resource, but let's tie it all together now and let's look at it on the front end. So here we have is the home page again. So let's go into the shop. And here we have is the original shop page. So I didn't clean up the sidebar, but what we have is the kind of standard default shop. Now let's move into the next category. We built the apparel one. So here we have is the apparel. And in this apparel one, this is only gonna show the actual hoodies and t-shirts. So that's all I have in the apparel category. But we changed the top section. We just made this very basic one. Same with the bottom section. Then let's go into the next one. So let's take off the apparel and let's go to the accessories category. Okay, this is taking us to the new top section. So we have this one we built here, different sidebar, and a different bottom section. So it all tied together. We have everything here in the navigation. Someone could access their cart from down here as well if we had products in the cart. And we have a product page too. So we have this awesome looking product page you built using all of our section templates and everything you need to build out the sidebar, the related products, and the bottom section here. So that's everything you need. That's the comprehensive step-by-step walkthrough of the original theme builder and WooCommerce integration. So if you are brand new here and you watched the video and you are not already a Thrive Theme Builder customer, I encourage you to get it. You've definitely seen the power of Thrive Theme Builder and how effective it can be for building your WooCommerce stores. So go to thrivethemes.com/theme builder and get your copy today. And last but not least, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts about WooCommerce in general and any questions you have. We're gonna be in the comments below here on the blog and on YouTube to answer any and all questions you have regarding Theme Builder and WooCommerce. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next tutorial video.